Dear friends, welcome to my blog or my podcast. The subject for today is why did India not annex Bangladesh after its 1971 victory? There are some theories that suggest that India merely reacted to Pakistani aggression. Also, there are some other theories that suggest that India does not have a foreign policy of attacking any country. This video will put all these theories to rest and will also explain the real reason why India did not annex Bangladesh. Let's put all the theories aside to start with. To say India reacted to Pakistani aggression is trivializing India's best foreign policy accomplishment. Also, India does not have a naive foreign policy of not attacking any country or whatsoever. If that were the case, Sikkim would not have been a part of India. To understand the 1971 war, we have to understand the 65 war. Or rather, the stalemate of 65 war. An audacious attack by a brazen Pakistan against a trepidatious India that had just been embracingly defeated by China. That was the 65 war was all about. Pakistan, boasting one of the finest air forces in Asia, definitely delivered a sucker punch to India. As against what Indians are taught in school, India did not win the war. The war ended in a stalemate with both the countries claiming victory. It was like two hyenas fighting over dead meat. Even countries like Indonesia tried to spook India by sending their missile boats in support of their quote-unquote Islamic brother Pakistan. Apart from the obvious tactical mistakes that India committed, a large part of the strategy was still very defensive. It was so because in 1965, India was surrounded by enemies on all its three sides. In the west, Pakistan, in the east, China, and Pakistan again. Yes, Bangladesh was actually a part of Pakistan before 1971, and the eastern part of Pakistan was obviously called East Pakistan. Of course, separated by 1,000 kilometers of Indian territory. Also, any unilateral Indian action in East Pakistan would have given China the best alibi to rebuild India's chicken neck. That is, the Siliguri corridor, the small, perhaps 100-kilometer corridor that connects India, or rather a large part of India, to its northeastern part. India somehow had to neutralize these threats. India could not afford to have two Pakistans any longer. The opportunity for that presented itself, unfortunately so, in the summer of 1971, when the anti-Bengali sentiment abetted by the perceived racial superiority of the West Pakistanis reached its pinnacle with Operation Searchlight. A civil war and a genocide that resulted in ethnic cleansing of nearly 3 million Bengali Pakistanis. R.N. Kao, the first director of RA, and Indira Gandhi cast the die for Bangladesh almost immediately. This was perhaps a carpe diem moment for the duo. What happened next is history. In 13 days, Pakistan was cut to size, a shining moment for India's military, a war that made a tiger out of India. It was a perfect victory filled with dream themes of good over evil, young Abhimanyus. Think of Lieutenant Ketapal, Paramir Chakra winner when I say that. The just war, Diwali in Karachi, and Blitzkrieg in South Asia. So why am I even talking about India's victory when I should be talking about India's intent or lack thereof of annexing Bangladesh? The answer to that lies primarily in the overwhelming victory over its paranoia. After the victory of 1971 war, Indian army was welcomed by the Bangladeshis. India had just established itself as the superpower of South Asia. Annexing Bangladesh would have been construed as subterfuge on part of India. A hard-earned military and diplomatic victory would have gone down in vain. I believe this was the primary reason not to annex Bangladesh. It would have been a stupid foreign policy move. India would have ceded the high ground, the moral high ground, and the newfound status as the harbinger of justice that it had just achieved. While I say this is the primary reason, I also have three other reasons why I believe India did not go on and annex Bangladesh. The first reason being Bangladesh was not partitioned in 1971 or not even in 1947. It was partitioned on religious lines by the British way back in 1905. Although it was reunited, albeit cosmetically, the scars remained. The partition was generally supported by Muslims of East Bengal. They did so because of their poor economic conditions in East Bengal, and they blamed that for the perceived dominance of the Hindu businessmen and the landlords of West Bengal. So they supported the partition way back in 1905. Also, the Bengali Muslims were one of the prominent supporters of the Pakistani cause in the years leading up to the partition. I would say this is the second, reason why India did not annex Bangladesh. The Direct Action Day of August 16, 1946 had such vociferous support from Bengali Muslims that it resulted in one of the worst conflagrations that eclipsed the Indian subcontinent, only to be dubiously paralleled by the riots a year later during partition. It is said that Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who went on to tear away Bangladesh from Pakistan, used to cycle miles together to attend Jinnah's rallies. Occupying such a big country, both Muslim and poor, would not have gone down well with India's then deteriorating economy that had already been stymied by its own population explosion and Indira Gandhi's socialistic closed market expeditions. The last reason I believe is invasions are always easy, but it is the occupation that isn't easy. I'm sure India's leadership, especially the World War II hardened military top brass, knew this all well. I believe the decision, whatsoever the reasons are, on a long run and even to this day proves to be the right one. India now has an almost friendly neighbor in Bangladesh, and as a group, BIMSTEC, that is basically SAARC without Pakistan plus Thailand and Myanmar, are slowly moving towards a freer movement of goods and people. Not exactly in European Union, but maybe an Indian Union on the cards here. When I say Indian Union, I don't really mean India, I mean the Indian Subcontinent Union. That's all there is to it, folks. Thank you very much for listening to this. I'll come with more videos as and when I have time. Bye bye and Jai Hind.